We linked up today and we were like, what are we going to talk about?
Who knows, man?
And this is what we got to. This is
This is as far as we planned.
This is as far as you planned. We're only 7 minutes in to the Idle Talk.
That's perfect.
But Last of Us was on Sunday.
It was.
So welcome back to the Last of Us portion of the podcast.
Back to Sundays.
Back to Sundays because
no more Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's done.
Yep.
So now we're talking about episode 6.
Yes.
Episode 6.
Episode 6
of The Last of Us.
Great
All right,
fucking
Fabian,
episode. Bro.
what did you think about this episode?
I think it was great.
You think all the episodes are great?
Yeah, but I also have a ranking. Like, to me, I still think episode 4 was great, but I do agree with you.
Really?
The pacing was bad.
Episode 4 was great. Rank the current episodes 1 through 6.
1 through 6. Oof. Damn.
From best to worst.
Episode 3 is number 1, right? Bill and Frank. That's that episode. Then I got the Henry and Sam episode, not the one that they introduced them.
Episode 5.
Not 4, yeah, 5. So episode 5 would be number 2 for me. Probably this episode.
Episode 6.
Then the first, and then the third.
And then you mean the second.
The second and the third, yeah. But
And then episode 4?
Yeah. Whichever one is the last one. Yeah. It just because the placing was shitty, but I still enjoyed every second
The
of it.
placing was shitty?
The pacing.
Pacing.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't got to do that. Every time I fuck up a word, you don't got to call me out.
No, I let you slide a few times. I wasn't paying attention, but now that I got no topics to talk about, I'm hyper focused.
Yeah. So yeah, for me that's the ranking system. But yeah, it was really really dope seeing Pedro Pascal and what's his name, Gabriel
Iglesias.
No, it's not his name. I think it's Gabriel Luna.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Them acting together, great, bro. I really enjoyed that. I love the scenes where they're like genuinely like the first time they like reconnect and they're like hugging and like crying. I'm like, damn, bro, that's mad fucking cute, bro.
In the game, it didn't go that way.
No,
like
it was
Joel
more
didn't go to hug his brother. His brother hugged him.
I like the scene in the bar with the two of them.
Yeah, when they're like getting deep with each other.
And then like when he finally like breaks down and tells them the truth about how he feels, I'm like, damn, that's a really good. That scene made me cry.
You stay crying,
bro. Yeah, I do be
bro.
stay crying, bro. That show always got me crying.
I'm like, that shit did not make
bro.
me cry this episode.
I don't know, bro. I'm a bitch.
Definitely are.
What else? I really, really like the scene with Joe and Ellie when they're fighting.
I hated that scene.
I loved it.
I think the only
thing I can agree with you is that in the video game it felt more authentic. It felt more real.
Well, the reason, like I told you in the car, I was like,
yeah,
her voice actor improvised the push. Yeah, Ashley Johnson.
So yeah,
so
I didn't know that.
When you come,
that's probably why.
That's why it seems so real and so authentic. And so when you kind of translate that into the show, now you have to kind of forcefully like do that action. And
like you see it coming, and it's really like it feels cringe when she does it.
Yeah,
like ugh,
a little bit.
Yeah,
but she's an amazing actress. I
agree. Bella Ramsey's really good for her age, bro. She's like, what, 19, 20, and she's acting her ass off, bro. She's doing just as good, if not better, than a lot of her co-stars, right? Yeah. So I think she's really good. Just the scene felt weird, but that's only because it's probably just from someone who's already played the game.
The original is just better.
They also didn't include the line, "You walking on mighty thin ice here."
Yeah,
that's such a good line.
That southern twang.
Yeah, bro, it's such a good line.
He's like, "You are walking onto mighty thin ice here."
Yeah, it's
but southern as fuck.
Yeah, I love that line in the game, and I hate that they kind of.
And it was like low. It was like quiet. Like that's how you know, like it was like serious.
But I also really, really enjoyed the scenes with what's his name? Maria. Yeah,
I hated that lady.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in the games, she's really like side character. Like she's like, oh, I'm the leader of this group. Tommy's my man, and like that's about it. That's her character until like part 2 where she has more of a character. But in this one, they're setting her up way more that like, oh, she lost a kid.
Maybe I just hate women.
That's probably what it is. You hate women, bro. You be trying to pin it on me, but it's you.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm projecting.
Yeah, it's projecting, bro. You don't like women.
No.
So yeah, and I like that scene between her and Ellie, like where she's cutting her hair and she's trying to be like, hey, listen, I understand you trust Joel, but like, remember, the only people that can hurt you are the people that you trust.
I'm like, so you want me to trust you so you could potentially hurt me?
I guess, yeah.
That's a skepticism.
Well, when it comes to love, right? When you start loving someone, you have to be
vulnerable.
You have to be able to be okay with the fact that one day they can hurt you. Yeah.
Damn, why you said that?
That's part of love, bro.
I'm sad.
So yeah,
I'm like, damn, I gotta accept that I might get hurt down the line. That's fucked up.
I like the scenes between the two of them together. And I really like the scene with
Can we talk about that scene before we move forward?
What?
About her cutting her hair.
Yeah.
It was like in the Walking Dead video game.
Spoilers.
I mean, obviously it's Walking Dead section, but in the video game, The Walking Dead, like the season 1 of Telltale's The Walking Dead, like when Lee's cutting Clem's hair, and it was like, whoa, we got our Lee cutting Clem's hair moment, which we don't get in the game, if I'm correct, right? She
never gets a haircut. I mean, if she does, we don't see it.
You never see it on camera or on cutscene.
No cutscenes. Yeah.
So it was interesting.
They're also way less brutal.
I mean,
by the time they got to this area in the game, you've already killed hundreds, thousands of people.
That's the video game.
It's a game.
It's a game.
It makes sense because you gotta do something.
Like I gotta get through this area. I gotta get through this walking area, and there's 18 guards. Yeah. I'm like, of course I have to kill all of them to get through here. So the way you do it matters. I'm like, you gonna do it silently, or you're gonna just full on blast them? That's up to you.
Just blast them. So that's one thing that's like different that I'm like, okay. Because, like, in the game, or at least in the show, it's showing you that, like, Joel's not on his shit. Like, he's, like, slowly...
He's obviously a 50-year-old man.
Yeah, like, he's slowly aging. He's losing his hearing. In the game, that man is 100. Always on it.
Dog. Bam.
And that's because you're playing as the character.
You, as the character, can get shot 18 times, but you're still running full speed.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's a monster in the game because
let Joel get shot in the show, he's going to get dropped real quick. Yeah. Like, real life.
Because even in the... like, you know how, like, he got, like... Spoiler, he gets shanked at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh. And he falls over.
Yeah, he falls over. We get that scene in the game, but it wasn't he's shanked.
No, he falls off like a whole like skyscraper.
But he still falls off the horse. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's still in the game.
He falls off a whole skyscraper, lands on top of rebar.
He falls off a second story and lands onto like a big ass
rebar.
Like a big,
and then he's like, and he gets himself out of it, and then he's like on the horse, like hurt it, and then falls off. So I'm like, damn, bro. Game Joel is on another level compared to Show Joel. Like, Show Joel can't touch Game Joel.
Can we talk about Pedro Pascal real quick?
Yeah.
Why does he look like shit? Does he look like this in real life?
What's wrong with that?
Like you know when he's like, oh, you haven't aged a bit, to his younger brother Tommy, and Tommy's like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, genuinely, I'm looking at the show, and I'm like. Mm-hmm. Bro, he looks like hot garbage, and I was like,
"Well, they made him look old because he's supposed to look old." And the reason
that's what I'm saying.
They just didn't age up Gabriel Luna. That's the problem. Is they made him look
at all, right? All.
Like he looks exactly.
That's what threw me off. Exactly.
In the beginning of the show, so you're like, this man didn't. He just grew his hair out and grew a beard. Like he didn't get older.
Not even like a beard, like a little like mustache and like whatever this shit is called.
But in the game, at least, you can tell they both grayed out. They're both old.
Yeah.
Because in the game, they're only 10 years apart. Like, Joe's in his 50s, right? And then Tommy's supposed to be in his 40s.
Yeah.
So they're both supposed to be old men. But Gabriel Luna...
I like how we talk about 40 and 50-year-olds, and you're like old men.
But the crazy thing is that both actors... So Pedro Pascal is 47 in real life. And then Gabriel Luna is like 44, 43, something like that. So they're both very similar in age. And... just by graying up Joe a little bit, he looks a lot older than him.
Not even just graying him up. It's just like his face. The wrinkles are like he has.
That's
like
what I'm saying he looks
very
older.
wrinkly. He looks
because if you see him in like regular interviews,
no, I know that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't look like that.
It threw me off. I was like, he mentioned that. I'm like, yeah, Joel does look like shit. And I think it's like maybe I'm looking into it too deep, but it's like the symbolism of like paying for what you've done so far in your life, where like. Maria's character talks to Ellie about how Joel is like maybe a bad guy, shitty guy, like you can't trust him or whatever. And she's like, you don't know nothing, you don't know everything about him. And then she's like, yeah, I mean, and he's killed a lot of people. And she's like, yeah, and he's like, innocent people too. And he's like, well, he stopped doing that. Like, so it's cool to see Ellie kind of defend Joel.
Yeah, she even says it when they argue. She's like, I fucking defended you.
Yeah,